Ashley, aka AT YoYo Superstar, and I hear you're feeling kinda down. Is it true that you suck at yo-yoing? Well, if so, I'm here to help. So let's go through 7 reasons why you may suck at yo-yoing and how to fix them. Number 1 is the one I see most often, is that you're being too hard on yourself. Many folks, when they're learning how to yo-yo, are told to watch other yo-yoers who have more skill and more time to practice, and folks who have competed or maybe are the world yo-yo champion or who are sponsored or whatever. Or you watch someone like me with a YouTube channel who has the convenience of cutting out their bloopers and mistakes. So when you see that, you may not know what actually goes on in yo-yo practice or general play, which is mistakes. So my first tip is to yo-yo with more people of your skill level, or even professionals who may not screw up as much but will still screw up, and also not to compare yourself to people who have been yo-yoing a lot longer than you or have the luxury of editing their videos. Not all of us are prodigies. I certainly am not. I learn at a slower pace. I need more time to work on my tricks. And some of us are going to be at a normal skill level for a long time. And again, whatever. If that's not you, and you want to be the best of all time, well, listen to this next bit. You may suck at yo-yoing because you lack intentional practice. If there's an element that you really need to nail down to consistently hit tricks, then you need to nail it down and spend some time on it. If there's a trick that's more advanced and you have difficulty with it, you need to spend some time on the trick. If you have a trick with multiple parts, it's going to be helpful if you break the parts down, especially if one part is causing you more trouble. So one way to be more intentional with your practice is to practice one element at a time. That could be, oh, when I land this part of the trick, my yo-yo slides off the string and gets a little off balance, so I need to work on that one part. It could be, I always skip this part of the trick because I can't do it, so now I'm gonna do it. I've said on this channel that I'm not as good at chopstick tricks, I'm not as good at slack tricks, and I'm not as good at regens, but those are all things that I've been practicing over time to make myself a better player, to get to a skill level that I personally want to be at. Also, you need to put the time in. So if you are not practicing every day and you want to be the world champion, then it's not going to work. If you want to compete in a yo-yo competition, you still have to practice, which you want to get good at. So make sure you put in the time. If it needs to be on a regular schedule, do it. If you just say like, oh, I want to do an hour a week, or if you say, oh, I just need a touch of yo-yo every day, which is more like mine, then do that. But set that intentional practice for yourself so you can get better. Okay, number 3, lots of people feel like if they can't do a combo or their combos lack flow, then they're not good at yo-yoing. Now, I actually have a video on this. It's one of my more popular videos of adding flow to your combo, but basically, there's a few things that you can do to help with this. You can practice similar types of tricks, so if a trick is using a lot of trapeze types of elements or a lot of slack types of elements, chopstick types of elements, put those together in a combo because they fit together. 2, if you know how a trick starts and ends, you should be able to make it flow into another trick. So if a trick ends in a trapeze, your next trick should start in a trapeze. And I go over this in my flow video. And then again, you need to practice these things. So if it's speed you're going for, maybe work on a shorter string, but do the combo over and over and over again. If it's just the general flow of the combo to make it feel good, memorize the combo, know what's coming next so you're not pausing. So the 4th reason you may suck at yo-yoing is you're making tricks harder for yourself. A lot of more advanced tricks have really distinct intricacies of where you hold your hand or where you pinch the string or how you flip your hand during a movement. You need to pay attention to those. If not, you may be watching a trick tutorial and say, how is he or she or they landing that when I'm doing the same thing, but you're not actually doing the same thing because you didn't watch the video correctly. Make sure you slow the video down if you need to, pause the video, listen very carefully to whoever's instructing on the video to make sure you're not missing anything. Also, another thing that I still struggle with and a lot of beginners struggle with is their hand movements might be too jerky. It gives them more room for error, so really being confident with where you're putting your hands and not moving them around too much, if the trick doesn't require that. So number 5 is similar, you're rushing the trick. So for example, a trick might say get into a green triangle and you're like, cool, got it, and you jump into a green triangle, but it's the wrong way to do it, so then when you're hopping out of it, you get a knot. Or the tutorial might say wrap it around your thumb, and you go around your thumb, but you actually have to go this way instead of this way. Things like that. Don't rush your tricks. Make sure you listen to what's going on and that you're watching. And also, give yourself some time to learn the trick. Again, you don't want to rush yourself so much that you're like, I should know this trick by this time and it should be perfect. No, some tricks take a long time to nail down. Don't rush yourself. Don't rush the trick. Just take your time with it. Figure out what's going on. Once you get it, do it a few more times before you're like, I can do this trick. Okay, our next one, number 6, is going into an advanced trick too quickly. So for example, a lot of like beginner to intermediate players will learn the trick Ouija bow. Now Ouija bow is interesting because you need to know some mounts, you need to know how to hop the yo-yo, you need to know timing. So if you've been working on a trick like cold fusion, which is also kind of a beginner to intermediate trick, and you're learning double or nothing and then not hopping the yo-yo till the end, it's not as helpful. Or let's say you just picked up your first yo-yo and you're learning rock the baby and then you're jumping to Ouija bow. None of those elements are the same. So as you're progressing through your tricks, make sure you're building on elements and fundamentals that you already have, so learning that advanced trick is easier. All right, we've reached number 7. You suck at yo-yoing because you don't enjoy yo-yoing. I know that's like easy for me to say because you're like, yeah, I'm freaking frustrated, so of course I don't like yo-yoing. But you shouldn't be frustrated all the time when you're yo-yoing. I know that yo-yos are important to lots of people. They're important to me too. They're still toys. Just like if you're to go out with your friends and play like a game of pick a basketball or something, if someone gets really competitive and frustrated, you're like, yo man, it's just a game. It is just a yo-yo. So back to the very first thing that we said in this video, if you're being hard on yourself, you're not having fun anymore. And there's actually a lot of reasons why you might not be having fun. Maybe you don't like the yo-yo you're using, which is another one of the videos I talked about. You also might just be yo-yoing into the void. The void. The void. Maybe you want to yo-yo with some headphones on and bop to some music. That could be cool. Maybe you need to yo-yo with other people. Maybe you need to make a YouTube channel or a TikTok or an Instagram to share that with other people. Or maybe you've taken advice like mine too literally and you're like, I have to learn the fundamentals and only the fundamentals one by one. But maybe you've been practicing trapeze for a really long time and it is time to learn Ouija bow. Make sure you're learning a variety of tricks at your skill level, and that will make it more fun. You should be learning the tricks you want to learn and practicing the way you want to practice to have fun. Sometimes that practice needs to be more intentional if your goal is to get better. But that comes back to goal setting. Maybe you want to make mini goals for yourself. So if you're starting out, you might say, maybe I want to learn 10 Eli hops in a row. Or like me, I'm not very good at 2A. So one day I was like, I'm going to get 10 loops in a row. Or one time I said, okay, I've got a free hour of my day. I'm going to create a combo and nail it in an hour. I mean, I did okay with it. I didn't nail it, but I had fun with that challenge to myself. I've seen trick challenges going around like recreate this trick by adding a new element or taking a part out. That could be a cool challenge for you. Or you could take like a famous yo-yo contest combo and say, I'm gonna learn as much as I can. Maybe you just need to buy a new yo-yo of a fresher color so it looks better on video. I don't know. Just know that yo-yoing is supposed to be fun. If it's not fun, why the heck are you doing it? Seriously, because it's too expensive of a hobby and it takes up too much time. So is it for a girl? Is it for a girl? Anyway, I think that covers a good scope of like your psychology towards yo-yoing and practicing, and then your actual practicing and elements that you're doing and things like that. The takeaway is that you probably don't actually suck at yo-yoing. Most people can't even make it go up and down, so if you can do that, then like, rad. If you have questions or comments or video requests or whatever, let me know in the comments below, and always be respectful! Once again, my name is Ashley, aka AT YoYo Superstar, and you'll see me next time since I can't see you, but you can see me, and that's how I feel about that. Have a great day.